edit mesh extrude. Just pull that up. And we can do it again. Now, instead of coming up to the edit mesh menu and hitting extrude every time we want to do this, if we already have what we need selected, you can just hit the G key. And what that does is it does the last menu selection that you used. So in this case, the last thing we used was extrude. So when I hit the G key, it will go ahead and do that again for me, okay? So that's just a quicker way to get that done. Alright, so we'll do it again. Just do our little extrusion here. Oh, okay. Make sure you have the edges selected when you do the extrusion, not the vertices. That's what I just did. That caused all that crazy stuff to happen. Okay, so it should wind up looking something like that. You'll want to, of course, double check the book when you're doing these extrusions to make sure that you have the same number of extrusions as the book does. Mine currently probably does not, so I don't have it in front of me at the moment. But it should look something like that, alright? Probably with a few less extrusions, but you get the basic idea there. And then when we did that, we actually didn't close that gap on the top, so we know how to do that because we've done it before. So let's go ahead and do it again. We'll just close this gap. We're going to come to edge mode, and we'll grab these two edges here where the gap starts. I'm going to go to edit mesh extrude. We'll just move them over, and we'll use our edit mesh merge vertex tool to go ahead and connect those verts, and that will close up the gap for us, okay? Now after that, it's kind of a matter of shaping. For example, we've got kind of this really thin tail going on here, and then it becomes very, very thick at the end here, so we'll probably want to go ahead and thin that down a little bit. Just by grabbing those edges and just scaling them in a little bit, okay? So that'll kind of improve the shape of the tail there a little bit for us. You can also grab individual verts and just kind of move them into place where you want them as well. Okay, so that's kind of fixed all the troubles that we were having with the top of the tail here. Alright, the other thing that you might want to look at is our dorsal fin here. We'll actually want to move this down quite a bit to be in line with Sharky's body a little better. Alright, we'll just move that down, move this down as well. Okay, and of course once we've moved all of that fun stuff down, we're also going to move other things down as well to kind of make up for that space, that extra space that we have now. also kind of bring this point in. We may want to go ahead and bring this line right here back as well, just a bit. Just a little bit, so that it's not such a dramatic curve from the fin to this center line of the body here, okay? So that kind of fixes up the shape of the dorsal fin there. It looks pretty good. Okay, so you know, it doesn't look too bad, but actually there's all kinds of funny stuff going on with the pectoral fins here as well, okay? So one thing that you might notice just by looking at it is this kind of a weird division here between dark gray and light gray polygons, and what's actually happening there is that the top of the fin is actually going underneath to the bottom, okay, right here. And the bottom of the fin is actually coming up through the top part of the fin and ending up right here, okay? So basically they're going through one another and reversing positions, alright? So that's a problem. Another problem that we have here is if we pull some of these verts, you'll start noticing there's extra faces underneath here, okay? So there's a lot going on. They look alright because they're right on top of each other, so you can't really see them very well, but you will see them when you go to render your shark and do your animation later, okay? So it'll become a problem to have these faces that are just kind of on top of each other, just sitting right on top of one another. So, and then over here as well, we have, again, some faces on top of faces, alright? And that's happening when you're doing extrusions, alright? And not moving your new extruded areas right away and kind of forgetting about them, okay? Then they're just ending up sitting right on top of one another, okay? So you can see once we start kind of messing with this, there's a lot going on here. And at this point, it would probably be easier to just build a new fin than to try and reshape the one that we've got with and make sure that we've got all the existing problems taken care of. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to grab this whole thing, just delete it. Okay, so we've got this empty gap. Now remember, we still have these faces that are on top of other faces sitting here, alright? So we need to make sure that we grab each and every one of these verts on the end here and make sure that we are pulling them in, pulling them out, whatever direction we need to pull them in to make sure that we're getting all these extra faces that are kind of hidden, alright? So there we can kind of see them now. Just pulling them out so we can see these hidden faces. You'll know that everything is fine once you pull on a single vertex and nothing comes popping out. It just moves the geometry around, okay? So we grab something and a face comes out. That's where our problem area is, alright? Now, you're going to have to do this with the other pectoral fin as well. I'm not going to do it in this video because it'll be